Okay, I can check off A2 New Udra, so what does that leave? Oh dear. Hello and welcome back, Hunters. A day ago now at Sony's State of Play, we had the official release date of Title Update 4. Monster Hunter Wilds will receive the last expected title update December 16th, a full 2 weeks earlier than I had predicted 3 months ago. This means that in just over 1 month from now, we will see a number of changes to Wilds' endgame. Most prominently, the addition of the first Elder Dragon in the Forbidden Lands, Lord Gog himself, the giant halberd dragon, Gogmazios. Now, many of you may have never fought this monster, as its last appearance was back in Generation 4, but whether you have faced off against his oily eminence or not, today I want to cover the information that was provided to us from official Monster Hunter channels so that we can prepare for his arrival. Starting with the State of Play, we were informed of the release date, again December 16th, and we were presented with this artwork, which is a trove of information. We can see our hunter decked out in Seregios equipment using a Seregios bowgun, and more importantly, 7 more hunters in the background, each of them appearing to be a support hunter. Kai with his hunting horn, Rosso with his heavy bowgun, Olivia as the resident bonk queen, an unknown hunter with what appears to be the Deshagama greatsword on their back, Mina on SNS, another unknown hunter with a bowgun, and Fabius with the lance. The first thought that came to mind when I saw this is, cool, more support hunters. The second thought was, is this a siege hunt? And to be honest, this has not been officially confirmed. I will say that the evidence beyond just this image seems to indicate as such, but we will cover that info as we get to it. Another note about this image, specifically this hunter's weapon. This appears to be the Rathalos light bowgun, which, if you are familiar with Gen 4, was the weapon used by the ace gunner Nadia. Nadia, along with Fabius the ace lancer, Aiden the ace cadet, and Julius the ace commander, made up an elite team known as the Ace Hunters. The interesting note here is that in World, it is revealed at the end of the story that the excitable A-lister that accompanies us for much of the journey was the ace cadet Aiden, and Julius was name-dropped after defeating Fatalis. In Wilds, Fabius is revealed to be the ace lancer, and he himself name-drops Nadia in a piece of NPC dialogue. The fact that Nadia's name does not show up until now may be a clue that this mystery hunter in this picture is the ace gunner. Only time will tell if this is, in fact, the case. Back to the star of the show, we have the most clear shot of Gogmazios to date, and it is clear that the previous iteration with a Dragonator embedded in his back has been replaced with something much different. Context clues may indicate something much more diabolical than we could have imagined. As we can see here, this lattice structure is familiar, similar to the structures that channel the Dragon Torch energy through the wormways. I mean, right above Gog's head we can see it. This would indicate that prior to Gog's absconding of this thing, not only was it something ancient Wyveria created, it was powered from the Dragon Torch directly. Another interesting set of details that we can find in the Ice Shard Cliffs may shed further light onto this object. As seen from Camp 7 in the cliffs, we have odd unnatural ravines cut through the caldera that the cliffs, and more importantly, the ruined ancient city of Wyveria, occupy. If we explore the cliffs further, we can find a hole in an exterior wall in Area 18. Taking this down lower reveals a camp location, but more importantly an odd structure nearby. The device has the same wiry components that embed into the object itself and would appear dormant. However, when looking upon it during the inclemency, the helical structures seem to be supplying power. The theory is that ancient Wyveria, with the power of the Dragon Torch, developed, more or less, Railgun technology, and not only was it utilized with the scars of their firepower evidenced in the landscape, this weapon very well may have been used against Gogmazios in the past, as evidenced by an unnatural canyon directly in line with Wyveria and the oil well basin. Let's look at a modded shot of the entirety of the Forbidden Lands. Credit to this picture is to Predator ERD, I believe, but that being said, a number of Redditors have made diagrams and mapped the visible area using a bird's eye angle of the region. With the Ice Shard Cliffs here and the oil well basin here, we have a gouge immediately following. This could indicate that Gogmazios existed as a threat, Wyveria attempted to fire on it, and just as a Gogmazios did in 4, this Gogmazios inadvertently pilfered a powerful weapon from the attacking battlement, encasing it in his own bodily fluids. And it may be a key tool to defeating him this time around as well. No other information was revealed at the State of Play, but within a day, the Monster Hunter official Twitter account released information in Japanese about the update, which was reissued shortly thereafter in English. Let's go through this info one tweet at a time. It's time for a recap of the additional information about Title Update 4, releasing December 16th, that was unveiled recently at the Monster Hunter Festa 2025 Paris event. Get ready for Title Update 4 featuring the addition of the Elder Dragon Gogmazios, HR 100+, Fire Weapon Mechanic, Dragon Element Weakness. The oil covering Gogmazios' body can be softened with fire attacks, making it easier to land hits, exposing its weakness to Dragon Element. This is where some details begin to indicate that Gog may be a siege hunt. The key points here are that Gogmazios, like Savage Omega and Atinu Udra, is locked behind HR 100. This would indicate that it will be a 9-star mission minimum. While there has been some speculation that this mission will be more difficult than Savage Omega, I am inclined to believe that we will see a fight that is difficult for different reasons, and that Savage Omega should not be considered by players as the new benchmark for future content. Just like Extreme Behemoth and World, the crossover event provided a uniquely difficult challenge that most of the game, including the expansion Iceborne, did not approach. In this same way, I theorize Gogmazios will be more difficult than any Archtempered monster we have fought and most likely eclipse even a 9-5 Gore, but comparing Gog to S Omega will be like apples to oranges. Additionally, the devs are leaning into the weapon swapping mechanic, indicating phases of the fight where Gog's oil must be shed using fire weapons to expose his dragon-weak flesh underneath. This may be akin to Uthduna, who veils itself in a watery cloak, but it can be shed with enough damage. Alternatively, and lending itself to a past siege mechanic, it may be more like Kolve Teroth, where the cloak once fully shed does not come back. In any event, prepare your Artian elemental weapons, or be sure to collect your best in slot for Fire and Dragon, as they may be the key to victory. As well as the new monster Gogmazios, we're also adding new weapon-related endgame features. Materials obtained from Gogmazios can be used with Artian weapons of Rarity 8 to create new, stronger Artian weapons that have one set bonus skill and one group skill, chosen at random. They will retain their existing reinforcement bonuses. In addition, reinforcement bonuses for them are even stronger than those for the standard Artian weapons, so prepare to make further use of reinforcement materials such as Oricalcite. From today, the following two events, which yield Artian materials and Ancient Weapon Fragments rewards, will be permanently available: King of a Faraway Sky and Masterless Claws. In preparation for TU4, be sure to forge and upgrade your Artian weapons. This tweet is interesting as it elaborates on the Artian weapon system that we were teased back around Title Update 2. This describes a system that may be familiar if you played Iceborne. Artian weapons, specifically Rarity 8, can be granted additional benefits. In this case, a set and group skill. Set skills are the skills you get for wearing typically 2 or 4 pieces of the armor from one specific monster, such as Raydow's Voltage or Uthduna's Cover. Group skills are the bonuses received for wearing 3 pieces of an alpha or beta set, and can be found on different armors, such as Lord's Favor, found on any Apex Alpha armor, or Lord's Soul, found on any Apex Beta armor. This raises a number of important questions. What skills will be possible? Are there combinations of set and group skills that will not appear? Will there be a way to re-roll after the initial application without needing to re-roll the entire reinforcement bonus for the Artian weapon? While we don't know for sure, I believe the model that will be used for the new Artian bonuses will likely follow the Curio crafting system from Monster Hunter Rise, in that a bonus can be obtained and then overwritten. The pattern would then be this. First, an Artian weapon would need to be made, and reinforced to the user's liking. Once an Artian is obtained with the reinforcements desired, the new system will apply the set and group skill at random for a cost. Any subsequent reroll of the group and set bonus will cost the same, and the weapon will again need to be rolled until the desired outcome is achieved. This is pure speculation based on historical assumptions, so take this with a grain of salt. The second tweet also informs us that 2 event quests are now permanent so as to facilitate Artian weapon pieces, King of a Faraway Sky and Masterless Claws. While they are not as capable of providing Artian pieces as a grand hunt with dual 8-star monsters, it removes the RNG nature of finding those investigations. To help you face the high attack power of Gogmazios, we're also adding a new way to upgrade your armor even further. Through a process called Transcending, you can make your armor even stronger than before after reaching HR 100. Transcending raises the limits imposed on armor sphere upgrades and also enhances the decoration slots on armor of Rarity 5 and 6, supporting their viability in late and endgame content. In Title Update 4, we're also making armor spheres easier to obtain, but in the meantime you can gather them through 7-star plus investigations and event quests. Again, Capcom is providing us with an interesting new mechanic. Through the process of Transcending, we can now unlock our armor to allow for further defensive upgrades. On top of this, if the armor is Rarity 5 or 6, this process will also augment the amount and/or size of the available decoration slots, seen in this image here. For armor that was meta in early base game but has since become obsolete, like the Guardian Ebony Odogaron or Guardian Fulgur Anjanath, this mechanic breathes life into the possible viability of those armor pieces and their set or group bonuses, tying into the new Artian system. But I know what you're thinking. Armor spheres are already hard to come by, so this won't matter much, and again, Capcom has an answer. Once Title Update 4 comes out, armor spheres will be a little easier to obtain. Their next tweet expands upon this idea. We'll be increasing the amount of smelting points gained from some of the monster parts that have not previously been widely used for Oricalcite and armor sphere smelting. Additionally, we'll be implementing the following measures to make armor spheres easier to obtain for players. Permanent event quest for gathering heavy armor spheres. Increase the amount of armor spheres you gain from limited bounties. These new additions, the forge value increase and the increase of armor spheres and rewards, should make farming a little easier. Everything above and including 7-star quests will provide increased armor spheres with a specific mention of 9-star Rei Dao, Uthduna, New Udra, and Mizutsune. This means that for 9-star monsters, if you are hunting for more armor spheres, you should hunt these monsters, and if you are still on the talisman grind, then these monsters are superior. Just as with the Artian pieces, once Title Update 4 comes out, 2 more missions will be made permanent, Tongue-Tied and Wreaking Havoc in Wyveria, which have higher drop rates for higher level armor spheres. 9-star Rathalos will appear in certain locales and you can save it as an investigation. You can also create a quest for multiple targets, including 9-star Rathalos with other monsters. We'll also be implementing balance changes, buffs, for some weapon types in TU4. More details on these adjustments coming soon. Stay tuned for more information on other TU4 details in the near future. Here we have the last 2 bits of information, 9-star Rathalos, and more balance changes for weapons, specifically buffs. 9-star Rathalos will join the existing monsters in map rotations and will not be locked in event quests, like Blengonga, Fulgur Anjanath, and the yet-to-be-released Ajarakan, due out early next week. As for balance changes, we do not yet have a short list of what all weapons will be affected, but suffice it to say after the major weapon balance update back in August, and the additional modifications around the crossover event, many weapons feel better than they ever have. That said, I'm sure many hunters would agree that some weapons still need certain buffs or alterations. I myself believe Lance could use additional buffs after its poor showing against the 2 latest additions, Savage Omega and AT New Udra. Leave a comment about what changes and buffs you would like to see for your main weapon, and be sure to fill out the contact form for Capcom, the link of which is on the homepage of the game and down below this video. With that covered, there is one final piece of information that has not been shared on the English Monster Hunter Twitter but can be found on the Japanese channel. Title Update number 4. Release date set for December 16th, Tuesday, in addition to the appearance of the Gusty Gogmazios expansions to endgame content and the seasonal event Festival of Bonds. Furthermore, we plan to implement various improvements, including weapon balance adjustments and enhancements to game stability. Stay tuned for more details in future updates. Okay, so clearly the translation isn't perfect with the Gusty Gogmazios, but the translated tweet indicates that along with Gogmazios and the additions and expansions to the endgame and the systems involved, we should also expect the next festival, translated to Festival of Bonds. This name is probably a placeholder, as Bonds is a little bland compared to Blossom Dance, Flame Fate, and Dreamspell. But regardless, if the festival occurs at the same time as Gogmazios' release, this would put the Winter Festival over a month ahead of my predicted schedule. This would make sense to have it sooner, as it would overlap with the Christmas season, so you won't see me complaining. This tweet also reiterates the team's goal to improve stability in this patch, but again, we have no word on what exactly that will entail. And that is the final, last, ending note that I have from Capcom and the Monster Hunter team. But that's not the last piece of info we have. Title Update 4 should bring with it my most anticipated monster if my armor was not a giveaway, Archtempered Jin Dahaad. While there is no official word from Capcom, he is the fourth and final Apex that has not yet received the Archtempered treatment. With any luck, we will get AT Jin at the same time as Gogmazios, giving us a second challenge as we navigate the new endgame. I am eagerly looking forward to the content that lies ahead of us, hunters, and I hope you are too. Start grinding, but don't burn yourselves out, as we have a lot of farming to do come December. That's all for now, folks. If you enjoyed this TU4 breakdown, subscribe for more videos, and consider supporting on Patreon. May your RNG be kind, and the desire sensor be blind. Goodbye for now, but not for long.